Hello, everybody. This is Doc's Fantasy Corner. This is your host, Doc. It's been a couple weeks, not gonna lie. We've had some time away from Doc's Fantasy Corner. Obviously, just you got stuff going on in personal life. I'm actually started a new job here, so a lot of big things, and just trying to keep up with this best I can, week by week moving forward. We're actually on week 9 now. I believe I missed maybe the last 2 or 3 weeks. I got a new upgrade, obviously, on my system here. It's just a little mic that I'd found, but thought it would be perfect just for this, at least, just to get the information to you guys. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me loud and clear for any of the takes or anything that I come up and send your way. So just kind of taking a look at everything here, guys. Just going to kind of shake it out just over the last couple of weeks, some of the things that have happened. Taking a look at really any of our lineups or anything like that. Before that, just the standings in our league, just to give you guys kind of the catch up of really what happened. Don't have anything formally written down for you guys, so I'm just kind of going ad lib here. But Brady's 8th ring, Pat at the top spot, carving the way right now. He's a 6-2 record. Looks like he has the second most points for in the league, and he actually is he's not at the bottom by any means on points scored on him. So, points against. So that's, could be a good indicator. He's just had a great schedule leading up to everything. We'll just kind of see where things go. Next, we got Team Dinkelberg. Matt Poley sitting at a 5-3 record. Matt Poley actually having one of the higher points for as well. And third, we're coming in with Hig, Barry, Saulback. Hig, Sari Ball. Hig, Siri. Oh, man. We got Team Hig, Barry, Saulback. Matty P sitting at a 5-3 record as well. Important to note, we actually have 3 5-3 teams. So Team Dinkelberg, Team Hig, Barry, Saulback, and Team Suck My Chub, Lemon, our fearless commissioner, sitting all at a 5-3 record. Important to note that actually Dinkelberg is on a 1-game winning streak and Suck My Chub's on a 2-game winning streak. Matty P is sitting at a 1-game loss streak. Moving on to our 4-4 group. Like I said earlier in the year, we actually have a lot of parity in this league. I think that's the one thing that we haven't had or seen in our fantasy football league in a long time that can make or break. So that we have one person 6-2. We got 3 that are sitting tied for second essentially, and then sitting tied for 5th, basically for a playoff spot. That's basically, the implications are huge here with the 4-4s group. P Word Destroyer 69-420, yours truly sitting at a 4-4 record with a one game winning streak. Next we got Pino Eckler, I hardly know her, with a 4-4 sitting at a 1-win streak as well. Dalvin and the Chipmunks, obviously the last time we had Doc's Fantasy Corner, we had that big trade that sent Devontae Adams, Saquon Barkley, and Derek Carr my way. Obviously Aaron Rodgers, A.J. Brown, and Dalvin Cook out. So Team Sean Murphy 0 is now Dalvin and the Chipmunks. So great change of name there for you, Murphy, sitting at a 4-4 record, keeping you tied for a 5th place spot, basically a playoff spot in our league. The 3 of the bottom teams, 2 of them are 3-5. No surprise here. I said earlier in the year we have some pretenders, we have some contenders. Hopefully that doesn't show for you guys, but anyways, so we got T-Law's Luscious Maine sitting at a 3-5 record, a 1-loss record, and then 1-loss streak, and then Chase, You Are the Man, Mark, sitting at a 3-5 record with a 2-game losing streak. It's important to note that Mark also losing Derrick Henry probably for the rest of the year, at least fantasy-wise. Titans might get him back, obviously. Could be with the playoffs. You have no idea with this injury, but I think in terms of fantasy, he's going to be out the rest of the year. That's what I would count on. And obviously, our last place team, Team Fantasy, Franny Fantasy. Hopefully, you guys, like I said, you guys can't see that, and I'll try to throw in an edit if I can, if I have time. But anyways, Team Franny Fantasy sitting at a 1-7 record with a game losing streak. I believe I'm the only team that he's lost or that he's won against. So, or actually no, the first week. I'm sorry, stand corrected. First week he won in a blowout, and then he's lost every game since. So definitely a little trickery there on our part with Franny. But let's just start getting into some matchups. I know that's why we do this every week, or try to do this every week for you guys. And I'll just start with mine. I'm pretty excited for mine. But now that I'm looking at it, I have to make an interesting decision because I have AJ Green, who's on the COVID list now, which would make Saquon, Devontae Adams, and AJ Green all unavailable for my roster this week because of COVID-19. I have Leonard Fournette, Chris Godwin, and Rob Gronkowski on a bye. So I need to fill that wide receiver spot. So I would probably have to drop AJ and pick up somebody that actually is able to play, which would kind of mess things up for me a little bit. I kind of like my team, but I'm not liking the team I'm playing this week. I'm playing the first place, Brady's 8th ring, sitting at a 6-2 record, and he's on a 5-game win streak. So this could be a 6-game win streak for him very easily. I still have Kyler, Joe Mixon. James Conner has been at least a touchdown reliable guy week in and week out. I think he's like second to Derrick Henry in touchdowns on the year. He's got 6, 7, 8 touchdowns on the year. So he's got 8 touchdowns in 8 games. So pretty impressive touchdown a game guy. I'm starting Jacoby Myers because Chris Godwin and Devontae are both out, and AJ now has COVID. So Jacoby Myers, he's a consistent, I'd say 9-10 a game point guy. So not great. I'm probably going to have to fill somebody in for AJ Green, and I'll do that live while I'm recording this so you guys can actually see and get a peek at this. I picked up Adrian Peterson, won the sweepstakes with him. I ended up dropping Mike Davis for that unexpectedly because I had to pick up a wide receiver, obviously because of my situation with Devontae. So obviously Rams defense, they got a buff this week getting Von Miller. We're going to see how that goes. But like I said, Brady's 8th ring, Matt Stafford, Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs, Tyreek Hill, Marquise Brown, Mark Andrews, Adam Thielen. I mean, he doesn't even have his best players in, or one of his best receivers. He's on a bye, Mike Evans, his wide receiver 3. So what I'm going to do right now, because I need to pick up a player that can play in that position for wide receiver. Let me just see if he's in at wide receiver for me. So, this puts me in a bind, guys. But I'm going to pick somebody up right now. No idea who I'm working with right now. Who the hell is Russell Gage? I don't know, guys. The picking is very, very, very thin right now. I could go with Quez Watkins. Is he getting the ball? Realistically, I just need somebody that's going to play. Darius Slayton is healthy. I don't think he's going to get the ball. So, I'm making it tough on myself, guys. Kenny Galladay is questionable. He's not going to play. He's a bust. No, not a bust. I think I'm going to go with Cole Beasley, and I'm going to add him against Jacksonville. I mean, he's been hot last couple weeks. Some yards and touchdowns. He's kind of a boomer bust, but I need somebody that's going to fill into that spot. So taking a look at my matchup. So obviously I'm still pegging myself to lose this week. I got myself back in it now. I'm a margin of, they have me losing or only winning with a 16% chance of winning. So This is going to be a Brady's 8th ring, and I know I'm kind of beating around the bush here, guys, but this is going to be a 30-point win. So I'm going to get crushed this week. It's just kind of how it is. Looking at some of these other matchups, though, we got Pulley. I'm going to go right to your matchup. Playing against Sean Murphy this week. Murphy's playing Mike White. Had 28 points last week, 3 touchdowns, 405 yards. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. He's got Dalvin Cook playing Baltimore. Do not like Baltimore's defense. But, Pulley, you're playing Hill. I mean, you're playing Taysom Hill this week, obviously, because Jameis is out. You got Alvin Kamara. You got Najee Harris. Mike Williams is playing great. Cooper Kupp's probably the best wide receiver in fantasy right now. Who would have predicted that? He's been the best player in fantasy by far. Darren Waller's a good player. Murphy, I look at your team. You got AJ and you got Dalvin Cook playing tomorrow, but I still don't think it's enough. I don't like your wide receiver 2. I don't like your flex option in Elijah Mitchell. He's had 2 pretty good weeks, I would say, or actually great weeks. 137 yards and a touchdown, and 107 and a touchdown. So a couple great weeks by Elijah Mitchell, but how much longer can he do it? But I just don't think your team matches up. So Pulley, I'm giving no surprise. They literally have you winning by 91% chance, Pulley. So I have you winning this by at least a spread of 27, if not spread of 30. It's going to be another wash. We're going to start seeing some of these teams fall off. Like I said, we're at the tail end of the season here, or the better half of the season, I should say, not the tail end quite yet. But moving on, we got the Stinker Bowl. Quite frankly, these are the 2 worst teams in football. I'd like to say Mark's team's pretty bad, but Jim, your team, buddy, is not doing you justice, man. I don't know if it's just like you have good players, but you're just not. They're not getting the matchups that you need to win your games. I'm not sure how to analyze it, but you're gonna get a win this week, Franny. I'm not. I can't keep looking at Franny's team and thinking he's gonna bust out a win. It's boom or bust for Franny. He's either going to win a game by a lot or he's not going to win at all. So, easy decision looking at this team. Mahomes is not playing good. Derek Singletary, not a great running back 1. Damian Williams is not, or Darrell Williams is not a running back 1 either. DeAndre Hopkins is your best player. It's just not looking good for you, Franny. Terrible team. Joe Burrow on the other side. Damian Harris for New England, Zeke Elliott, Justin Jefferson, Diggs. Because of those 3 players alone, I got to give the win. Give the win to Jim, and he doesn't even have his best player, DeAndre Swift, playing this week. So, or even his tight end. So, Jim's team is just way better. Jim, I just think that your team isn't good enough to compete with a lot of the other teams. Going to the next matchup, Pinto versus or Eckler, I hardly know her, versus Chase. You are the man. Looking at this, this is going to be a quarterback matchup. So obviously we have Justin Herbert versus Josh Allen. Austin Eckler kind of came out of nowhere this year. Jonathan Taylor, great player as well. Hunter Renfrow kind of coming out of nowhere as well, having a pretty good year in terms of everything else that's kind of going on with the Raiders, having a pretty decent year. Jalen Waddle's pretty good. Darrell Henderson, Greg Zerloin, good kicker, not a great kicker anymore. I don't know, man. Looking at these teams, I think I still have to lean Pinto, and I'll tell you why. Because Mark's got Josh Allen. He's got Cordarrelle Patterson, right? So he has Cordarrelle Patterson, who's been a great player this year. But the Falcons they stink, man. They stink. They have no playmakers right now. Calvin Ridley's out. They got Kyle Pitts, who's rookie, kind of struggling. Mark's got Melvin Gordon on his bench or on his flex. I mean, Cortland Sutton is his wide receiver 1, or I guess wide receiver 2, because Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in football right now by far. And if you don't believe that take, then you're not watching football. Cooper Kupp, you could make the case. Obviously, I said he's the best fantasy wide receiver right now, but I just think Jamar Chase is just having a fantastic year. I mean, he's got 3 100 yard games. One of them is a 200 yard game. He's got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 touchdowns. So the guy's putting up production as a fantasy receiver as a rookie. So those are the 3 players that Mark really has. Other than that, it's hard to argue Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Jonathan Taylor. Why wouldn't those guys have a good game? But Pinno's going to have to put in his tight end because he has the Seal Jones guy for Washington on a bye, and he's going to need Knox from Buffalo to have a good game, Dawson Knox. But Dawson Knox is playing Jacksonville, so that could be a good look for him. But I got Pinno winning this game by a spread of 15. Poli, I don't know if I gave you a spread either. Poli, I gave you a spread of 30. And then T-Law's Luscious Maine, he's going to beat Franny. It's going to be an easy win. I'm sorry if I skipped over that, but it's going to be an easy win, at least a spread of 17, I would say. It's the Stinker Bowl. So, and then I'm going to leave the 2. I think this game has the most implications this week. Obviously, I would love to win. That would be a big play for my team and for a lot of the teams in the league. But I think this week, the game of the week, and I'll tell you why, Suck My Chub versus Hig, Berry, Saulback. So Suck My Chub had a couple of bad weeks, a couple players out, a couple players this, whatever the case may have been. Had a couple bad weeks. He's on a 2-game win streak now since then. And Hig, Berry, Saulback's coming off a loss. So that was a big loss for Hig, Berry, Saulback because he was one of our 5-win teams. Now Lemon's one of the 5-win teams. So both these teams are 5-3. This is going to shake up a lot of things moving forward for the league. We got Tannehill without Derrick Henry. So Tannehill without Derrick Henry. Lamar Jackson, great player. Not sure if it's going to be. He's going to need to have a great game because Lemon's team I think is on a roll. Lately, all of his players are kind of in sync. I think Deebo Samuel is one of the best fantasy players right now in football. I think he has like 3 60-point games this year. I'll fact check that for you right now. He's got 2 30-point games, but he's got 4 20-point games. So the guy's just putting up production after production after production. Nick Chubb playing good, not great. Man, I don't know. It's gonna be close because Travis Kelce, obviously you can't count him out. David Moore's pretty good. Deebo Samuel's good. But looking at the other side, Matty P's got Lamar Jackson. He's starting Boston Scott and then Brandon Bolden. Those are his running backs, Boston Scott and Brandon Bolden. Never heard of Brandon Bolden, but why? Because Christian McCaffrey is coming off of HR. So I think it might be worth to put Christian McCaffrey in. It still says he's on HR, but it also has him listed for 20 points. So obviously I think you need to put Christian McCaffrey in. Matty P has George Kittle on IR. He has Calvin Ridley out because of mental health and personal reasons. Kareem Hunt is on the IR as well. So Matty P's team is just beat up. Starting Boston Scott, starting Brandon Bolden, has CeeDee Lamb and Michael Pittman, but it's not going to be enough. I think just based on those reasons alone, you could stand to reason. I think Lemon's going to win this game, and it's going to be close. Sleeper has the spread at about 4 points, but I can see it being a little bit higher, maybe about 6 or 7 points, just given the fact that I think Lemon's receivers are better than Matty P's receivers, and his running backs are by far better than Matty P's running backs. So outside of the quarterback, I think because of those reasons, I'm giving the win to Lemon by a score of 7.5. And at the end of the week, guys, I just want to remind everybody, for anybody that actually does watch this till the end or whatever the case may be, there's been a lot of dumb people recently in the news. Obviously you see it every day. You see people getting in trouble, getting hurt. Just don't drink and drive, okay? You don't have to do it. You can always wait till the morning. You can always call somebody. There's apps now. People will pick you up if you've never heard of something like that. There's always a reason not to drink and drive. And you look at Henry Ruggs, and unfortunately, that woman's life was taken from her and her dog. it's unfortunate that sometimes that has to be the wake up call. But I shouldn't have to remind you guys. You're all adults. Go out, go have fun, go do whatever you're gonna do in life. But just don't drink and drive. Just do that solid for me. Don't drink and drive. It's better for you. It's better for me. It's better for everyone. If you just don't drink and drive. But anyways, this is Doc's Fantasy Corner. Every week, if I can, I'm gonna try to get these takes out to you. I think better half of the season is yet to come. I think there's still a lot of football left. There's still a lot of time to kind of get everything together for a playoff run. At least I'm eyeing up a playoff run. I know at least 5 or 6 teams are looking right now. Obviously, you look at the league the way it stands right now. Like I said, I'm in a 3-way tie for 5th place. So if 6 teams are making the playoffs, then I need to be at least a top 6 team after this week. But I think I'm going to get a loss. We're going to see how things shake out. I need to put up a lot of points, even if I lose. I need to put up a lot of points so this way I can I can level out my points against. I think that's going to help my case to get into the playoffs. But as always, this is Doc's Fantasy Corner. This is your host, Doc. If you guys have anything going on fantasy-wise, if you want me to come in and let you guys speak your truth, whatever the case is, hit me up and we'll set something up. But until then, this is Doc's Fantasy Corner. I hope you guys had a great listen and enjoy Thursday Night Football.
I walk the streets, same one since day one. I never give up, and put the record on repeat. I thrive on beats, and funky psychedelia. I keep it chin up, 'cause life